Hi, it's Therese from Lostinpaper and I'm back for the alleyway stamps, and today I'm going to be using this Wispy Wishes set to create my own Copic retro flower panel. So I've got a piece of cardstock here. It's got the same size as my card front, which is 15 by 10.5 centimeters, and I've just set it on some scrap paper just to protect my work surface. And I'm using some Memento ink. This one is Rich Cocoa, and I know that the Memento inks are going to work really well with my Copic markers, and it's just nice not to be using black for a change. I thought it'd be good to, sort of steer away from that a little bit on this card. So I'm simply just going to stamp out my panel, staggering my flowers and making sure that I stamp some of them off the edge of the panel. So to create my flowers, I'm simply just freehand drawing them with the Copic marker and colouring them in. I wanted it to be that real retro flower look and have a slightly messy look as well, so I haven't tried to blend it absolutely perfectly. So I'll list all the colours that I used today over at my blog. It was a bit hard to keep the colours in the screenshot because it's such a big panel that I'm working on, and I'll be back when all the colouring is done. So I'm going to freehand draw my stamps. This is a Memento Rich Cocoa marker, but you could easily use a stamp if that's what you have on hand and you felt more comfortable doing that. I'm adding some images to the background just to build it up a little bit, and this is some desert sand. It's also Memento ink, and I'm just sort of randomly stamping these in the background, and I thought a little bit of added colour with some love letter would look really sweet with this tiny little stamp that also comes in the same stamp set. I'm covering my card front with some American Crafts coffee coloured cardstock. I'm using my stamp runner to do that, and then I'm going to create a little split in my panel, so I'm just simply cutting away, I don't know, it's probably about a 5mm strip out of my panel. So this is when things started to go wrong. I decided to stamp out this awesome sentiment from Big Time, and it says hugs, but I wasn't worried about the fact that it didn't stamp out very well. I just didn't like the look of the colour on it, so I thought it just wasn't popping enough on the panel that I created. So then I thought I'd try and save it, and decided to stamp over it again in black, and still didn't like how it was looking. So while I'm trying to work out what I'm going to do about the sentiment, I just thought I might as well pop up the rest of the card. And I've got some red fun foam, and I'm using my stamp runner to stick that down. And probably if I hadn't already cut this strip out of the card, it might have been a bit easier to work out what to do. But, oh yeah, and I used a bit of Tombow to add that because that was a bit thin for me to try and add the stamp runner down the edge of the left-hand side of the card. But I did try a few different things. I tried some gold, it didn't really show out well enough. So then I thought I'd use this cherry cardstock, and I've heat embossed this word again, but used the chestnut, it's a zing embossing powder. And now I'm using my paper trimmer to cut out like a banner strip. And I thought if I fussy cut the word, you know, this is going to allow me to cover the word that I'm not happy with, the stamped word, and hopefully save this card. So I simply just fussy cut the top and the bottom of the word, and that'll just give me this sentiment strip. And I'll pop this up on some fun foam as well, and then I can just use my stamp runner to adhere that over the whole top of the card. And then I can just cut the edges off with a pair of scissors. That's easiest to do by flipping it over. And I decided to add a little heart sprinkle, and I'm using some matte medium for that. So I did save this card. I didn't think it was going to happen for a while. I thought I was going to have to start again, but I hope you like it. So until next time, happy paper crafting. Bye.